Right. So, there is another video. I've been doing reactions, and thank goodness. There is another video, and it comes from this QR code if you're actually interested to actually check it out yourself. This is about the nuisance streamer, Jack Doherty. Now, when it comes to a nuisance streamer, let me remind you of what my stance is when it comes to nuisance streamers at all. You can do whatever you want as an IRL streamer, but if you are disruptive of society, if you are disruptive of anyone's privacy or boundaries, you deserve to be called out for all the bullshit you do, and you don't deserve any reputation that you lose from being called out. Abso-fucking-lutely. You don't deserve a single bit of lost reputation. Because that's what you are. You're just clout chasing without giving it a second thought. You don't even think as to why you've been doing that. You've been doing this for so long. You're just flashing the money that you're given for the reason of actually clout chasing without a second thought, without giving a single other consideration to everyone else around you. Your friend who was injured was not supposed to be injured. You could have at least cared for him during that accident, but what happened? You valued your car first before him. Disgusting. Abso-fucking-lutely disgusting. Really. And now I just actually saw this. I thought he was unbanned on Kick because Adin Ross is an ass. Now Jack Doherty got banned on Kick after whatever bullshit that is going to be shown here, and I hope it is very humiliating. It should be humiliating.
Well, they're getting chips everywhere.
All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty pissed off right now. I posted this video on Jack Doherty and how he assaulted this guy after getting slapped, and now he's banned on Kick. And the video was heavily censored. I mean, I blurred all the physical fights that happened to make sure that I was complying with YouTube's policy. And after 30 minutes, even though they checked the video and it did the whole copyright and ad suitability thing, after 30 minutes, I got an email saying it got age restricted. So of course I deleted that version, because for those who don't know, when your video gets age restricted, it is pretty much dead in the water. You will get maybe 0.5 to 1% of the views you were supposed to get, and it's really pointless. There is no point in leaving a video up like that. So I'm posting this again. Unfortunately, I can't show you any of the fight, even though it's heavily blurred, heavily censored, complying with YouTube's policy. So I'm just going to have to describe to you what happened. It's extremely lame, but it is what it is. Now let's get back to the video. All right, so remember when Kick permanently banned Jack Doherty for crashing his McLaren while texting and driving and endangering so many lives?
This is where it started. This is where it started to go downhill for him. He was in a sports car. He was in an exotic. Basically, he was driving recklessly. He streamed his reckless driving. He doesn't give a damn about the passenger or passengers who are with him. And of course, what exactly do you expect? What else do you actually want to expect from this except, well, nothing much. Honestly, nothing much.
Well, it turns out they don't stand on business, and they unbanned him last week. Now, it only took a week for Jack Doherty to get banned again, this time after committing a violent assault on a man while he was on the ground, and that is utterly disgusting. Now, don't get it twisted. Jack Doherty had the assistance of his bodyguard because he never engages in fair fights, and if the bodyguard wasn't there, I don't think he would have done anything. He would have probably just sat in a corner and cried. But since the bodyguard was there to do most of the heavy lifting, they beat this man while he was on the ground.
Yep.
Now I'm going to show you parts of it. Obviously, we're on YouTube. I'm not going to get my channel in trouble for showing a violent beating, but I'm going to show you what I can. Take a look at this.
Well, they're getting chips everywhere.
Basically, it started there. Okay, so basically it actually started there. Let me just make sure that my sounds are looking okay so that it looks appropriate for me. Okay, hold on. All look good? Well, if it actually looks good, then it looks good. That's still right. Let's try it.
Alright, so unfortunately this is the part that I can't show you, even though it was heavily censored and complying with YouTube's policies. That's fine. Let me just describe.
Basically, the fight erupted right outside. The fight erupted right outside. Basically, Jack lost his maturity. Jack lost his maturity right there. He pursued the guy. Okay? What happened?
What happened. So basically, they chased him. The bodyguard landed the first hit and brought the guy to the ground. And then Jack just was wailing on him, punching him while he was defenseless on the floor. Then
Cowardly. Basically, the security guard actually incapacitates the attacker. Fine. Fine. Leave it like that. But you don't have to be a bitch and start attacking the attacker like you deserve to do that. No. Absolutely not. The guy's beaten down. He is a troll, yes. But does he deserve that kind of treatment? He doesn't even, Jack, he don't even attack, he didn't even attack you with a punch inside, okay? He only threw chips. He only fucking threw chips. That's it. But what happened? What the frick happened to you? You just went ham without thinking.
And they kind of stopped tussling for a moment, and then the bodyguard just kept going, brought him back to the ground again. Jack told him to stop, that it's okay, let him go, and then 2 seconds later, he punches him again while he's on the floor. Now, after some time, the guy got up and said, "You wouldn't 1v1 me," and Jack was claiming that he just did, and he just 1v.
You wouldn't 1v1 me? I'm sorry. Actually, that is actually true. Jack's bodyguard already did most of the work. And Jack is just being a bitch, being so petty, but actually finishing the job. The problem with that, Jack, is that your petty bullshit is definitely going to get called out, and you don't even realize it's going to keep ending your reputation. It's going to keep bleeding your reputation dry. By what you've done right there, it just proves that you are a bitch. You are an absolute bitch. You can't... That guy was right. He cannot 1v1 fair and square. You can't.
V1 him, and that was so far from the truth. Basically, they jumped this guy. So first of all, let's fact check some of this. Jack Doherty said, "I just beat you one-on-one." That is not what happened, not even by a long shot. The security guard did the first punch, got him on the ground, and then Jack Doherty was just wailing on him while he was on the ground defenseless. They jumped him. So yeah, that was not a one-on-one at all.
Yeah.
And now why this happened, obviously it's because this guy decided to slap Jack Doherty, but can you really blame him? Imagine the amount of restraint it would take to be in Jack Doherty's presence and not slap him. So we have to be understanding here that your average human would not be able to be around Jack Doherty and not slap him.
Because he's a rich nuisance streamer who deserves to get slapped silly, and he never got a single thing out of consequence for what he is doing. He keeps slapping money. He keeps slapping his money around people. He just doesn't get another physical slap back. Really, he just deserves what he gets.
Him. So he did what a lot of people would do in that situation. Now, Jack Doherty could say that this was self-defense because, yes, technically this individual smacked him first, but there was no more danger when the jumping occurred. They chased down this guy. So I don't think this would really count as self-defense, but then again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on this. Now, guess what happened after this? Of course, he got banned on Kick. So
He got banned again. Oh my god, he's a rich piece of shit. He just doesn't. He does not give a okay, at this point, he does not give a fuck about him being banned. He does not give a fuck about being banned at this point. Guys, charge him. Look for him at his house. Audit the fuck out of every piece of property that he owns.
take a look.
Audit everything.
Before that, I just want to say thank you to all the new viewers and all the new subscribers. My latest video went pretty hot and it got over 300,000 views, and with that came over 2,000 subscribers. So I want to say thank you. Let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel, and now let's get back to the video. Let's take a look at what happened afterwards. So of course he got banned. Now if you take a look at his URL, you will see this 404 page, and it's to be expected. That was a violent attack that was totally uncalled for. Yeah, the guy slapped him, but you don't.
The guy slapped Jack, but does the guy deserve the retaliation that he got, considering that it was only once, but he was given multiple shits in retaliation? That's no longer retaliation. That's overdoing your response. That's overdoing the response that was given to you by a response that is greater and eventually one-sided. Okay? That's not a 1v1. That's not fair.
Don't have to jump the guy. Maybe if you want to retaliate in a one-on-one in a fair fight, that's one thing, but to violently jump him with your security guard, that's disgusting. So obviously he got banned, but the thing with Kick is that they have no spine. They ban someone and then they'll unban them, a couple weeks later. So it doesn't really mean that much at the moment unless they really decide to stick with it this time and to permanently ban him. But that's not the only thing that happened, because apparently he got banned on TikTok as well. So if you take a look at his Twitter post, he's
he also got banned on TikTok. Hey, by the way, TikTok's no longer going to be operating in the United States. But here's the thing: if Trump actually finds that there is bad practice when it comes to TikTok, its business being used for something else, they're going to be probably unbanning TikTok. But at the same time, Donald Trump becoming president, that might be guaranteed. But at the same time, I hate the guy. Do not ever put me in a room next to Donald Trump. You do not know what horrors I will do to that man who deserves too much payback.
said ban on Kick and TikTok the same day. Thankfully, I still got joined the party. And some people are saying that he was standing on business. It says here, honestly, was worth it. Jack standing on business. Jack Doherty stood up for himself and chased a stream sniper down to beat him up with his security after he slapped him on stream. That is not the definition of standing on business. You know what would have been standing on business is if he said to a security guard, "Stay behind, I got this. Fair fight, one-on-one." That is not what happened whatsoever.
That's not a fair fight.
Him getting banned on these social media platforms, the only platform he has left is Join the Party, and that platform is just very, very weird. There's barely any streamers on there. Last time I checked, there was like 8 people streaming, and some of them had like 50 viewers, some of them had 150, and now there's another reject that is going to stream on there. Take a look at this.
I am very happy to announce that
Oh my God, you.
after 3 months, I'm finally returning to streaming tomorrow. And the link is at party.com/Sneeko.
Sneeko. My God. He's another annoying piece of shit.
Maybe welcome to the party. Super cringe. Just say the link. Party. Don't need super cringe, bro.
So yeah, as you can see, Party is basically where the rejects go to fail, and that is the last resort for Jack Doherty. And honestly, this guy hasn't changed. On this post, he's talking about which house he should buy, a house listed for 9 million, but he's offering 7 million, or another house listed for 3 million, and he hasn't changed at all.
He never changed. He never gets real consequences. That's the problem with this guy. That is the actual problem with this guy. He doesn't get real consequences for his actions. Basically, the treatment for guys like him is just not fair, man.
He's just obsessed with material things, cars, houses, even though he leases most of them. And he fails to realize that money isn't everything in life. You cannot buy respect or love. And that's the thing. Everybody that's around him, they're just around him because they can milk him for clout and dough. Do you really think all these women would be around him? They would show up to his party if he was broke and he just had a 12-pack of beer? Of course not. They would ditch him in an instant. These types of people are basically just taking advantage of him, and he has no real meaningful relationships. Even with his quote-unquote wife, she's just taking advantage of him, and he's taking advantage of her by putting her on OF and keeping 50% of the money. So yeah, he is living a very meaningless life full of material things but have no real connections to other humans.
Agreed.
And if he would disappear tomorrow, honestly, no one would give a shit. No one would bat an eye. They'll be like, oh, okay, now I don't have a party to go to, but whatever. Let me latch on to the next dumb influencer that's willing to throw away money. He is absolutely meaningless to everybody around him. Just to prove this even more, after crashing his dirt bike, he did a post saying, "I'm alive." I know, right? And the post got 126,000 views and only 266 likes. So that's 266 brain dead people that are probably in high school. And someone said, nobody cares. 2025 is already ruined. And then you're saying, don't think anyone asked. You've just ruined 2025. Let me borrow $500 right now if you're really alive. No. Fuck, why? Not surprisingly, it was fun before he showed on here. Shit, everybody is really disappointed that he's still alive. And by the way, Dork,
honestly, I'd be very disappointed. Honestly, even I'd be very disappointed. He's absolute trash. He should be burning trash, and no one should give a fuck if he burns as trash, okay?
the fact that you're still alive, that is Satan's way of saying he wants to piss us all off with your continued existence just a bit longer. That's unfortunate. No one cares. It's like, dude, you are such a lolcow. At this point, he's a bigger lolcow than DSP, and that says a lot. So that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm sure you guys noticed that the channel has taken a little bit of a pivot into true crime regarding TikTokers, and we are going to continue in that direction because you guys have been really loving the videos. Matter of fact, I probably will post another one like that in the next couple days, but here and there we'll check back on Johnny Somali or on Jack Doherty when there's something relevant. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
That was amazing. That's actually amazing. Thank you very, very much, bro. And what have we learned from Jack Doherty? Basically, he lives a meaningless life. Nobody meaningful gives a fuck about him. They only give a fuck about him because he's got a lot of money. And that's all he's worth. So basically, in truth, he's worth shit. He is only worth shit. And that's truth.